This is the Greenway Advisory Committee meeting for March 21st, 2017. We do have a quorum. A.C. Davis, if you'd like to take it.
I will. Since we haven't met in quite a while, I'll try to get everybody up to speed on what's been going on. We had a meeting last week with Kyle Peters of Wiser, who is pretty much heading up this project and making sure that the construction company are doing what they're supposed to be doing. The deadline on this project is May. I'm not part of the construction, but it doesn't look to me like it's going to make it. They look like they're behind. The weather's not obviously been perfect, but at the same time, we went down and rode the trail a couple weeks ago, and it looks like it's in the beginning stages. It doesn't look like it's anywhere near being finished. So that's a concern. We've talked to Wiser about that, and we're going to meet again next month. But the construction company seems to think that they can get it done. But so we'll see. I mean, it's possible, but not from what I'm looking at. But I see some issues. Down here just past the roundabout, the bridge, the little bridge where the ditch runs from the neighborhood underneath. There's going to be a problem there when we have big rains. Water just comes up, and it washes trash from everywhere in the neighborhood. So that is going to be an ongoing maintenance issue for picking up trash, and we're going to have to come up with some way to recirculate that water, or dig a ditch, or dig some tunnels away from it, because it rises right there on the trail. So. But we'll have to wait till everything's finished before we can start doing stuff like that. But that's where it's at right now. If they're in the progress, they started back here behind the library today. I seen them back there doing some work. They put all the crushing run down to get ready for the trail, but it's a slow process. It's not. They haven't got as much done as they wanted to. I'm sure of that. So that's where it's at. Y'all can ride along the road and look at it for yourselves, but all the clearing that they're doing, and they're throwing stuff off to the side. They're not supposed to be doing that. That stuff is supposed to be coming out of there, and it's not. There's a lot of roots and tree stumps and stuff that's just piled up. So before we can get in there and make it pretty, all that stuff's got to come out of there. So that's where we're at.
Who's responsible for removing that?
Construction company.
Okay.
That's to my understanding. That's what Wiser said.
Okay.
And that has been communicated to them.
Oh yeah, they know. They said, oh yeah, we're going to get it, no problem. But that's just what's being relayed to me.
Now, if you already see there's going to be an issue with the flooding, can we not have them address that as they're going along?
That's what's going on now. When we took it to them the other day, and you remember in the retreat, Jason, Kyle got up and spoke about it too. So it's being addressed. So now,
well, that way the citizens don't end up having to pay for it later,
right,
if it's already being done and they can address it now.
Right, and while it's part of that grant money is supposed to be involved in all this too, so I mean, it needs to be right before they pull out. So, but yeah, we've discussed it with them, and they assure us everything will be as it's supposed to be when they're done.
And who will do the final, I guess, walkthrough?
Well, that'll be probably myself and Jay, the engineer, city engineer, and Kyle, and probably be involved in it, and Wiser, and and make sure that everything is satisfactory before.
Was that work in the original design to do that work? Okay, so
that's where it's at.
Any thoughts on addressing that little bridge section where you were mentioning the trash flows through, with maybe some type of fencing so the water can still go through, but it catches the trash?
Well, I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea. That's something we could certainly discuss. Like I said, it just depends. If the rain's a lot, and the people in the neighborhood go out and throw their trash back in the ditch back there, and then when the big rain comes, then it all goes down and washes under the road and out on the other side. So, but we'll have to come up with some type of plan to address it, and it may be something that I'd like to do it before they leave. So I'll certainly bring that up about fencing in front of that bridge on the residential side. So that's about all I know about it right now, other than they're working on it. So
when it is completed, whether it goes over the deadline or not, do we have plans for any type of ribbon cutting with that?
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to try to do some type of ceremony to open it up. Like I said, this is the first meeting we've had in a while. I certainly would hope that all of us could be there and take part in it, and even maybe put the plans together for it. Me and my department can do similar to what we've done at the near Shreedman thing, cut through down there. We can, you know, have the city officials down and do a ribbon cutting, and not sure where we'd want to do it, on this end or that end, but whichever end works out the best. Probably down here because there's more parking area for that, but yeah, we can do that. Now, it's not supposed to go over. They can't. From what I understand legally, they're not supposed, they can't go over. That's, unless something comes up and there's a stipulation made or some kind of something put in there, they're supposed to be done in May.
So are there fines that will be assessed if they do not meet the deadline?
There are repercussions. I don't know what they are exactly, but there are repercussions if you don't finish the job on time.
Okay.
So I'll see if I can find out what those are, and I'll let y'all know.
Well, I'm new to this board, so I'm kind of behind on a lot of stuff, but I know you said there would be, I guess they would park at the library if they wanted to start the Greenway. Will there be parking over on near Shreedman?
There, to my knowledge, there's going to be a parking area straight across, about halfway between the library and the roundabout. There's an area you can pull in and park.
Will there be like benches, picnic tables?
There's supposed to be all that stuff.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how much of that stuff there will be. Obviously, we're going to go and look at it, and then we're going to try to add to whatever it is, you know. Some, Stormwater has some trees that she said that she'll hold on to till they're done, and if it's something that we can go over and plant a few here and there and, you know, try to make it a little more beautiful over there and just see what it needs, you know.
It's going to be really nice.
Huh?
It's going to be really nice.
It should be really nice, you know, so, but it's a lot more work for us. It really is, but we'll handle it.
Well, I think as time goes on, as you said, you know, it's going to require some of your people obviously here and there, but I'd like to work on possibly getting, like, even if it's just every couple of months or something like that, get a group together to go through and, you know, do trash pickup or whatever.
I think that'd be fantastic. And
I mean, even if it's just this board, it would be
Yeah.
nice if we picked a nice, you know, Saturday and go down there just to make sure.
Well, we're gonna go down daily. I mean, we'll have to. I'll have Webster and his guys go through first thing in the morning and double check everything and pick up any trash and check for graffiti and any kind of vandalism and stuff like that. But anything new usually gets some special attention right off the bat, and then it kind of dies out. But so.
Well, I know at the end of April that Stormwater's doing the Hurricane Creek cleanup. Maybe that can be extended
I
or
think
break
that's-
off into separate groups.
I think that's going to be part of it.
That would be
So,
nice.
yeah, it would. It'll help, because there's a lot of it down there. And like Kyle was talking about, we don't want to go down there and make a big mass effort to move everything before they're finished with it, and it just be right back where it was.
Right,
So,
right.
you know, we want to do it all at one time, and so it'll look really good for grand opening or ribbon cutting.
I'm excited.
Well, that kind of sets the standard that you want to maintain after that.
Exactly. Yeah.
One suggestion would be, see if you could get organizations like scout troops or districts to adopt sections of the trail.
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it'd be an ongoing thing. You have Eagle projects and weekends where, you know, the great organization for a sponsoring organization would have, you know, the Cub Scouts all the way through to their
Well,
Scouts
And we
to
just
do
happen to
that
know somebody
cleanup.
that's pretty big into the Scouts too, Bob Simon. So we'll definitely bring that up to him. I'm sure, as helpful as he is, I'm sure he would love to have the Scouts come out and help us out with that.
school clubs also have service hours that they have to put in, like Beta Club, ROTC, and many of the other organizations in the local high schools and middle schools.
Okay.
And they might be willing to adopt sections of the trail.
And
That'd be awesome.
Tennessee Scenic Rivers will often do stream cleanup in the spring. They do Mill Creek here in Nashville.
Well, and the
I'm
more
sure-
people in our community we get involved with taking care of it, the more likely that it'll stay looking nice and they'll be
Right.
vested in it.
And
And
that's
they'll
the
feel a
thing,
part
too.
of it.
The big thing is getting people to stay involved.
Right.
Because lots of people want to jump in the beginning, and then they kind of,
Yeah.
that's been my experience. So getting them involved and having them stay involved and committed to it is the big thing. But yeah, all those are great ideas, because that's a lot of help right there. If we can get, even if we only get a couple of them to commit to helping us out, that's a lot, so.
Well, I think it's in high school, I want to say it's 15 hours a semester, so
It is. We had them.
It's at least, yeah,
We had them at the
couple
concession
times.
stands a couple of years ago. They didn't like it, but hey, that's their hours, so that's good. But this would be a lot easier than that.
I'm
So
always having parents ask me,
Yeah.
where can their kids go and get this time? Well, now we have somewhere to send them.
that's right. And that's something that they don't even have to, I mean, I don't mind, I'll sign off on hours. If they can come out and they can show that they've worked and done some stuff, then that's perfect. And that's not even something that we have to be down there with them to do. It's an open trail. They can just grab, we'll give them buckets and pickers and they can just go down and pick up, you know, whatever that's visible, you know.
And that stretches your resources further.
Yes, it does. And anything that will do that, I'm happy about. Okay. So anything else y'all can think of? That's about all, like I said, that's about all I know where we're at right now, and maybe I'll have a little bit more information next time, but when the weather gets good, y'all go down and look at it, and I mean, I think it's gonna be a great thing. They haven't quite put the little bridge area in back here behind City Hall yet, but they're getting awful close.
So this section that's being worked on, it runs from the library to the roundabout? Or does it go past the roundabout to?
It stops at the roundabout, right there, where the little trail, where you cut off the road and go down in there, for the stream cleanup stuff. That's where it stops, right there at the
Okay,
roundabout.
right at the edge of the,
Yep.
This is
For
Four
now.
lane.
Now, the plan is later on to join it with one coming out of Smyrna and make it a big deal,
Well-
obviously all the way to Murfreesboro and further, but
previously there were discussions about going on through the core land to the boat ramp on the old roadbed.
it might still be in the works too. I'll ask about that as well.
That's always, I know this has been,
That was part of the
This-
master plan.
this was discussed as phase one,
Yeah,
but they haven't gone to the planning stages or even the funding stages for stage two. And yes,
Right.
it was talked about going from the roundabout down to the boat ramp.
Okay.
Well, I know there's trails back in there, I just don't know how close they come to where it's gonna end. Because when we do the
Yeah.
cleanup, there's some, like right along the shoreline, but then there's some that are up closer to the road,
yeah.
just little
The-
trails.
The old roadbed, the old Stones River roadbed runs right up to the present Stones River Road. And then it comes out about halfway from Stones River Road to the ramp itself along that little core area there. I don't know where it goes beyond that, but the last time I walked it, there was, part of the asphalt was still usable or walkable. It wasn't overgrown or anything. You could walk down it. In fact, it was like a tunnel because everything else had grown over it. But,
When it gets down here to near Shreveman, how will they get across?
I don't know what the plan is for that. I've seen a lot of stuff down
There's a
there.
lot of
but I'm
traffic.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a big deal. They're going to have to block that road off because it's constant traffic up and down that road. So they're going to have to block it off, I would think, or at least a portion of it, and have them stop and just use one lane to get around. So, but they look like they're getting ready to do that.
Is there, like, are you saying there's gonna be a bridge
Yeah.
over? Okay.
Well, it'll be just across this creek, and then I'm not sure how it's, like a kind of crosswalk thing that goes across the road, I guess. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. Unless they're going under the road, I don't know. Now, they may be going over it too. I haven't seen the plan for that though, but that's a good question to ask too.
I thought originally they were gonna go under the road.
Well, they may do that.
there was a raised area, I don't know where the bridge is, if you're talking about that area, where when the bridge was built, we put a walkway under it that
Okay.
probably has nothing connected to it now, but the intention was that it would be a walkway for a future sidewalk greenway.
Okay. I'll see if I can find about that tomorrow, and if I could get any information, I'll shoot y'all all an email and let you know what I found out.
At some point, if you don't mind, I'd like to get with you and take a look at the plans myself.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
to get caught up.
Yeah, I'll have to get with Jay over there, and we'll pull the plans out, because I have a set, but they're the really old ones. So I don't know how they compare to what the new ones are since they started construction. Because remember, this was originally going to get started a long time ago, and it got pushed back. So I don't know what changed between there and now.
I know at one point it came to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen where they were gonna have a pavilion
Yeah.
and bathrooms, and then that was drastically scaled back.
A lot
due
of
to
it got
cost.
knocked out because of cost, yeah. So, but we were even going to do bathrooms back here, but couldn't afford that, I guess. So,
Will it be lit or will it just be?
to my knowledge, I don't think there are any plans for lights yet. But I'm thinking that we at least do some kind of solar something back there, so that because that's kind of a liability, because people are going to be back there in the dark. There's no doubt. So we need something to kind of light the trail. So I don't know, I mean, how cost effective that'll be, but it'll be better than trying to run electricity over there and
Oh, yeah.
stringing a bunch of stuff, so.
Yeah, I think solar may be the way to go. I know that a lot of the greenways that I've been on, basically they close at dark.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if someone wanted to continue on, solar powered may buy them a little bit
Or if you're
more
back in
time.
there and it gets dark while you're there, you need to
Sure.
have some kind of, some kind of lighting for the trail. So we can look at that too.
Now, is there money budgeted for the future, for the expansion? Or are we looking at more grants to expand?
To my knowledge, we're gonna have to get more grants. There's nothing budgeted for it right now, though.
And I requested roughly a month ago from our grant writer grant information. So far, the only thing I've gotten is some information on a bike trail or a bike path that can be added onto existing roadways, but nothing in the way of an actual any type of matching grant fund for a park or a greenway or another one that's out there. They come and go just kind of sporadically, but we just gotta keep looking basically.
Okay.
Any more questions for AC?
Like I said, though, if I find out anything good tomorrow or before the end of the week, I'll shoot y'all an email and keep you posted on it.
Can you send us just an email with a PDF of what of the map?
I'll see if I can get one and send it to you. Yeah, I'll look
Make
into
sure
that
to
tomorrow
see
too.
what's changed.
Just ask, I would say ask Jay if he can scan the
Yeah.
ones that he's got.
Yeah, I'm sure he can shrink it down and set it in a format that you can get.
There are some that are on the city archives, on the public records, but I don't know if it's changed since then, because
That's probably the first ones that we're looking at doing, I would think, but I'll double check.
Okay.
Thank you very much for all your time and hard work, sir.
Hey, no
We
problem.
appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all too.
Any more questions?
And thank you for coming out too.
Any other business anyone's got?
Nope, no, sir.
All right, I guess you and I will talk about when we're gonna try to meet again and how we're gonna,
Get this set up.
okay, all right.
Okay, I call this meeting adjourned.